Hi, welcome to the video on two launch tools specifically designed for social studies, geography. They're fun. You could use them in lots of classes, especially even like some ELA if you have some sort of a novel that's got different people traveling to different places to be able to see. But they are the True Size Of and City Guesser. They both are linked right next to this video that you clicked on in the video scaffold, but you could quickly do a search for the True Size Of or City Guesser. So we'll start with the True Size Of. The True Size Of is a cool tool that allows you to compare the actual size on a map of like one country to another, or one state to another, or a state to a country. And part of it is because in our two-dimensional Mercator projection maps, flat maps, they distort features the closer to the poles. So in other words, Greenland looks huge, but it might not actually be that huge because we have to take a 3D globe and put it on a two-dimensional map. So it's pretty simple. You just search for what you want. So let's say, for example, I want to do Kansas, and it'll highlight Kansas, and then it allows me to take Kansas and drag it and put it anywhere I want in comparison. So I can also kind of do my zoom in, zoom out. So we'll see Kansas here, or maybe we want to see like how does Kansas compare to, let's say we'll zoom out so we get the state outlines. Kansas compared to Wyoming. Okay, well, it's pretty close. When I have Kansas and I hover, it tells me the total size. It also tells me a comparable country size. When I want to I can leave that there. So I'm going to move Kansas out here into the ocean. And let's say maybe I want to see Texas. Okay, so now I can get two highlights. I can move them around. One of the things about Texas, as we drag Texas, you'll see how big it is. We know Alaska is the largest state geographically, but Texas, we look here, isn't too far close behind. One of the areas, if we're talking about in the news, let's say we want to look at the Ukraine, since it's been in the news. So here's Ukraine. This will be interesting if kids are following along. Look how big Ukraine is relative to, we drag it over here next to Texas. Okay, so we come down here and see, and you can't rotate these, but Ukraine is almost the size of Texas. So we're talking about a large area with our current conflict. As you move these closer to the poles, you see that they get larger and larger because of the distortion from a 3D globe to a 2D map, and you can zoom way out. So that's pretty cool. Just to be able to kind of drag around and see a good discussion starter, to be able to have kids kind of compare things or look at different things. Why are they bigger or smaller? We can line them up, a bunch of things next to one another here, which you might not normally be able to do that are in direct proportion to one another. So that's the True Size Of. Pretty cool tool. Next, and this is a fun one. This is kind of a game-based one. This is called City Guesser. Right now I'm on the single player mode, and City Guesser is, and we're going to do USA. It's effectively, when I open this, it's a video someplace in the United States that walks through, and the goal here is to make observations, to look for clues, look for hints, to try to determine where you are. There's no pause button, so I can't pause it and stop. There is a rewind 5-second button. There is a restart video button, and there is a slow down or speed up button. And so you can let this go as long as you want to. Again, making observations. Some ways you might do this: you might have a kid do this and have a partner, and their partner could have like their Chromebook or device, and if they see clues or hints to look up. So for example, this one's pretty hard actually. There's not a lot of clues involved in this one. Let's see if I get a better one. They could look up clues when they're going, if they see street signs or they see businesses. They could have another device. So this one might be a little easier here. Okay, where we go through, and then once I decide where I think this might be, I start guessing, and then I can zoom in or zoom out. Okay, I can switch my layers. Okay, let's say I want to come in here. Okay, there's different, you can switch to languages depending on where you are. And let's say I feel like this is in, down by Houston. Okay, so I'm going to guess. I'm going to click on the map, my pin, and I'm going to guess, and it's going to tell me I was 1,057 miles away. I was way off. This is actually up here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay, and then I can do another one. So some ideas. So here's an example. You can look for clues, do it with partners, do different things. If you want to do sort of a contest, you could do the least amount of miles from it wins. So everybody picks a random one, gets a random one, so they're not the same. And then they do that way. So that's a fun game. You could also project this up on yours and try to come up with a class guess. Have everybody discuss, look up, research, argue their points, show their justification. Again, explain your answer, right? So that's one. There's a lot of different categories in this game. Worldwide, USA, monuments, different kinds of countries here that are available. You can do this, and there's a lot in other maps, and there's more. There's also a multiplayer mode. So if you flip to multiplayer, what this is like joining a Google Classroom. All the kids compete with each other. So this is really, if you wanted to play together in the classroom, you would say, all right, I want to join the room. Okay. You're going to create a room. So this is you as the teacher. You're going to you can set up the different ideas here. How many rounds are you doing? Let's say maybe we're doing 3 rounds. We're doing miles. We're going to give them 3 minutes. And I am teacher Jason. Okay. And then I would share the link. And it's going to give me a link or a code. So I can either copy this link and drop it like into Google Classroom, or I could share this code and give them the link to join. I would just use this link here and then drop it in. And you'll have to have this up. We want to leave this screen up. And then when you start the game, it says there's no one here. So we would leave this screen up here. We would copy the link and you just leave this tab. And then as kids come in, then they're all on the same game together playing against one another. Which is super cool. And again, it goes pretty fast because you can set the time limit. So you could just play 1 round if you want to, that lasts 2 or 3 minutes. So really good for making observations, looking for clues. If you're doing discussions, justify your answer. Explain to me why you chose that. Why did you reason that? What was your deduction? What did you have a discussion with your partner? Whatever it happens to be. So those two pretty cool kind of social studies, geography. But the truth is, every classroom, kids like to play this game. It's pretty addictive, and kids have a lot of fun. So hope that you got some inspiration, some good ideas from that. Thanks.